Hello, everyone. This is our very first episode of a little podcast that we're doing for absolutely no other reason other than we wanted to, called SimpLITfy, or just Simplify. It's easier to see when it's spelled out. My name is Jaya, and
mine is Hayley.
Yes, and neither of us really come from a literature background. I'm a filmmaker. What do you do, Hayley?
I work with children during the day. I am a para at an elementary school, so not literature based at all.
Yeah, neither of us really do literature stuff except for the fact that we're nerds. So we really appreciate literature without actually majoring in it or anything. So what we're going to be doing for this podcast is, we're going to be reading. It's going to be quite the challenge. And, we're going to be reading simplified versions of not quite children's literature, but children's literature. We're starting with some of the major Shakespeare plays, which if anyone knows anything about Shakespeare or past 10th grade English, you'll know that that it's not for kids. But we found this lovely book, Hayley, will you?
Called The Usborne Illustrated Stories from Shakespeare.
Yes, and it is essentially a picture book with all the Shakespeare. And we were reading it and thought it was hilarious. I know this is a podcast, you cannot exactly see the illustrations, but we're going to have a good time. So what we're going to start with today is the one that everyone knows and is kind of, classic. It's, freshman English, Romeo and Juliet. So hopefully this goes well, and hopefully you enjoy. All right, let's begin. Hayley, will you do us the honor of reading the text?
Yes.
All right, we're just going to start. Each one starts with a little 2 or 3 word bio of the characters. So let's go.
So the first character is Old Montague. He's the head of the Montague family, and he adores his son Romeo. And then, over here, we have Count Paris, who is a nobleman. He is engaged to Juliet, who, by the way, is a minor, because she's 13.
Yes.
Prince Aeschylus is the ruler of Verona. He's annoyed with the constant quarrels between local families.
I mean, they are really quite escalating.
Yes, they are. He's just tired of it.
That escalated quickly.
Romeo Montague is the heir to the Montague family. He falls in love with Juliet at first sight.
I mean, is she hot?
I feel uncomfortable calling her that, but yes. Mercutio, good friends of Romeo and Benvolio. He's flamboyant and quick-witted. What they don't say here is that he's gay AF.
Yes, he's very gay.
He is.
And I feel like we should have read Benvolio's introduction before.
It's okay, we have his boyfriend Benvolio, who's Romeo's cousin. It says he's friends with both of them, but he's really friends with one and boyfriend with the other.
I mean, he's cousins with one and boyfriend with the other.
He's a peacemaker. And then over here we have Friar Lawrence, an old monk, tries to help the young couple. He does put in a good, honest college try.
He did his diddly darndest, and that's what matters.
It is.
It's not what matters.
And then Lady Capulet, Juliet's mother, wants her to marry Count Paris. Friar John It's just Friar Lawrence's friend.
Just a buddy. He's kind of there.
Doesn't really have a big role. He's just kind of a bud.
Yeah, he didn't do so well in his audition, so he's just kind of there.
They didn't want to not give him a role. So.
Yeah. He was just one of those. It was just because like everyone has to get into the show, and like I guess this one kid really sucks, but I guess he's Friar John, I guess.
And then Juliet's nurse doesn't actually have a first name. She's just called Nurse. Has cared for Juliet since she was a baby. Juliet. Oh wait. Nope. Well, I read them out of order, but that's okay.
Best for last.
Best for last. Old Capulet, head of the Capulet family. He's a strict father.
Oof.
And then Tybalt, Juliet's cousin, hot-headed and argumentative. He fights everything that moves.
Yes.
Everything, not just anything that has legs, but like everything that moves. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like a tree blows in the wind and this guy goes for it.
It's
like, oh, you fight me, you challenge me!
Exactly.
So.
And then, best for last, we have Juliet Capulet, who is just 13 when the story begins.
And that's all they say about her.
That's it. She's a minor.
She's a minor!
That is the only important thing about her.
Oh, I forgot to, because of, before we began, I forgot to, kind of give this, although we're reading, like, kind of like children's targeted books, this is probably not the best podcast for actual children.
Please don't actually. I work with children, but that does not mean you should show your children our podcast.
Yeah, we're probably going to be using some adult language, some adult themes, and
this play has some adult themes.
Yeah, so we're kind of looking at these children's books from an adult perspective, so our adult perspective would probably not be appreciated by actual children. Or it might be appreciated, but it's not good.
Not appropriate.
Yeah.
For actual children.
Yeah.
So this is a
grown-up podcast.
I was going to say PG-13 podcast, but I think it's a little higher than that.
No, PG-13 is fine. Like, teens and up, I guess.
Okay.
I just wanted to make it like, this is mommy's podcast with their special juice.
This is a grown-up podcast.
But yeah, this is a podcast for not kids.
For adults.
Yes.
Just like we are. No.
Totally. Anyway.
So we're going to get right into it with Chapter 1. Capulets and Montagues.
Oh man, that's their names.
This is it. We're going to learn.
It's starting.
We're going to learn why they're fighting. It was
no fight.
It was a warm summer's afternoon in the pretty town of Verona. People were busy shopping and chatting in the sunshine, when suddenly... ... Two gangs of young men tore across the market square, fighting, kicking, and rolling in the dust. The townspeople ran for cover. I also would.
Yeah.
I would definitely be like, oh no, they're at it again, I can't.
It's like Marvel New York when they see the Avengers, they're like, oh, time to leave, honey. The Avengers are here to fuck shit up.
There, see, not a children's podcast. Yeah. Have at thee, coward. The gangs belonged to two of Verona's richest families. Because, rich people.
Yeah, of course.
We all know from Oron High School Host Club that rich people fuck shit up. So
I know that from growing up where I grew up. It's like,
that too,
they always say, like, the poor neighborhoods are the bad neighborhoods. No, the rich neighborhoods are the bad neighborhoods. They just don't get any consequences for it.
Ding, 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 ding. Correct.
Mommy and Daddy's alcohol cabinet is never locked.
Never. The families were sworn enemies, and they were always fighting.
I mean, that's kind of what sworn enemies do. They fight.
Constantly. In minutes, Verona's ruler, Prince Aeschylus, arrived with the soldiers to break up the fight.
Stop it from escalating.
Prince was furious. This is an actual line in this book. I've had enough of this feud, he raged. It's got to stop. From now on, anyone caught fighting will be put to death. Which I think most of the fights, at least for the Capulets and the Montagues, were fights to the death. So,
Yeah.
So that's not really a fair punishment, but, you know.
It's like, whoever's like, you want to fight to the death? Fine. I'll settle this permanently. You're both gonna die.
Everyone's gonna die if you keep fighting like this.
Yeah.
Old Montague, the head of the Montague family.
I mean, we know he's the head because he's old.
Exactly. That's the biggest reason we know he's the head.
Oh, you're fucking old. You must be the head of the family. That's why it's like when Juliet comes, she's 13, and it's like, oh, is your father home? Because you're way too young to be the head of the family. You're a minor.
You're so young. Hurried into the market square, searching for his son Romeo. But he only found Benvolio, Romeo's cousin. Don't worry, uncle, said Benvolio. Romeo wasn't fighting. He's too sensible.
He's too sensitive.
Read between the lines.
He's too sensible. No, he's just sensitive. He's like, someone starts yelling and he just starts crying.
It's canon, guys.
Yeah. Romeo cries when you call him bitch baby.
Canon. Soon after that, Romeo himself wandered by. Benvolio was telling him what had happened when someone spoke behind them. Have you heard? The old Capulet, again, you know he's old because, you know he's the head of the family because he's old, is holding a masked ball tonight. So one thing I wanted to make a comment about these two pages, I think it's funny, is that instead of giving Montague a chance to even just talk to his son, Benvolio just pulls him aside, and he's like, hey, you gotta know what happened in the market square while you were gone. Like, I don't know, I just saw that was funny because they made such a to-do about him searching for Romeo, and suddenly Benvolio was like, no, wait, I need to tell you things. Shit went down.
Yeah. Shit went down, my dude.
Did you hear that, Romeo? Whispered Benvolio. A party at the Capulet's house. Let's go. If we wear disguises, no one will guess who we are.
I mean, they won't.
It's a valid thought.
I mean, maybe no one will know who you are, but they'll guess because you're wearing a mask. I'm like, no wonder that is. Totally not a mask you give or anything. Totally.
And especially if no one else. Oh wait, it was a mask ball though. So
yeah.
So everyone's gonna be wearing masks.
Yeah, but it's I love they're like, oh yeah, like this is also such a rich teenager thing where they're like, yeah, this family that like we've hated forever, they're throwing a party, let's go crash it, let's go mess with some shit. I mean, it's free booze.
It is. Not part of this family.
Yeah, I'm not part of this family, and in fact, I am not part of this family. In fact, they hate me. But I mean, a party's a party, am I right?
Excitedly, the two young Montagues went to find their friend Mercutio to invite him along. They don't actually talk about who Mercutio's family is.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad when you think about it.
I mean, he's gay, so we don't want to make it about his backstory. That's a bad rap.
Fair enough.
We can gather enough that the fact that Mercutio doesn't have a family and he's gay, we can put two and two together.
It's a sandwich.
But I love it. It's like, yeah, they go and it's like, hey, cuz, can we invite my boyfriend?
We gotta bring my boyfriend. It's free booze, and then I'll get laid tonight.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the whole thing with like the reason Romeo and Juliet get together is because Romeo was just third wheeling the whole time. He's like, I gotta find a date, and then he did. So that brings us to our next chapter,
falling in love. Oof, not so quick till chapter 2. At the Capulet's mansion, the place was buzzing with excitement. Servants raced around, laying the tables and lighting the candles, putting the finishing touches to the party.
Capitalism.
Not here for it.
No.
Upstairs, Juliet Capulet's nurse was helping her dress when Juliet's mother came in. Now, Juliet, she said, a man named Count Paris is coming tonight. I hope you like him. Your father and I want you to marry him.
Even though you're a minor.
Oh, Juliet, sweetheart, squealed her nurse. You're to be married. I can't read, apparently, guys. Oof. This is not going to be good for the rest of the podcast. How exciting! Juliet was horrified. She was only 13.
Yeah!
She was a minor. She wasn't ready to get married. She was barely ready for middle school. And what if she didn't like Count Paris? That's actually a valid,
yeah.
It's not even something that we consider when we're making this story. It's like,
what if the guy's a douchebag? Like,
what am I gonna do then? I'm married to the guy.
Like, yeah, well, it says, her mom's like, I hope you like him, your father, and I want you to marry him. But it's one of those things like, she never said you're gonna marry him, but you're gonna marry him.
It's implied.
Yeah, it's like I think like looking at this specific text, like they really wanted. I'm like, yeah, like I hope you like him because like I think we're gonna marry him off to you off to him or whatever, and then.
It's mutual.
Yeah, no, it's like we're considering it. Maybe if you like the guy, and they're like, no, in reality, it's like, yeah, you're gonna marry this dude,
regardless of whether you like him or not.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad.
You don't like him? Well, sucks to be you.
You're a minor. You don't get a choice.
Oh, God.
There was no time to argue. The party was about to start. Straightening her dress, Juliet walked down the grand marble staircase, in capitalism, to the banqueting hall. A little later, 3 surprise guests arrived. Benvolio and Mercutio wanted to dance with each other.
I want to dance with somebody.
Love Simon cameo. But Romeo stood still. He had spotted a beautiful girl in a pink and cream dress, and he couldn't take his eyes off her. Did my heart love till now? Forswear it, sight. For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. Yes, what is it?
I just think he's like, yeah. It's the whole concept of like, does my heart not love until now? No, it's not your heart.
It's not your,
it's your dick. Like I remember, I want to tell the quick story of when I had to read Romeo and Juliet in my freshman year of high school. Like, yeah, it was like one of those things where it was one of the books in the unit.
Again, minor.
Yeah.
We're all minors reading the story.
And since we were all minors, my English teacher was very particular about the themes in this book and how she got them across to us. Before we even got the books passed out to us. And as soon as she announced, we're reading Romeo and Juliet, she says, and by the way, it's not about love, it's about, and then she pulls down, they have those like maps or whatever, or the like whiteboard things that you pull down from the ceiling. She pulled it down, and it's just the projector, but on the projector screen was a piece of construction paper that was taped there, and it just said in all capital letters, sex, because we were minors and she didn't want to say the word in front of us, but she wanted us to know that that's what the story was about.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I wish I was making this up. I'm not. And then every time they would mention love in the book, she's like, but remember, kids, it's not about love, it's about, and pulls it down, and we all like we don't say it, but we nod like we get it.
We understand. We're 15.
Yeah.
We understand, but it's about...
we understand it's about. But, in fact, many of us have had it. But
we don't want to say that.
We don't want... shh, don't tell Mom. But, yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah.
When I teach my kids, it's about...
Yeah.
Instead of giving them the talk. Just get a whiteboard.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't say the word.
I'm going to tell you about the bees and the bees. Don't you mean the birds and the bees? No, just bees.
We've done shit to bees, y'all.
I mean, it's hip.
It is. It is hip to
Don't say it. Anyway, back to Romeo and Juliet.
Anyway. Juliet's cousin Tybalt recognized the three friends and went straight to old Capulet. "Uncle, there are Montagues here," he declared. "Let's kick them out."
Let's kick their asses.
Let's fight. "No, Tybalt," said his uncle. "Remember, the prince is mourning. No fighting."
I mean, they are on private property. He could technically get away with
You
it.
could technically kick him.
But old Capulet, like, that's sucking. Yeah. He knows Tybalt, and it's like, dude,
Tybalt,
you know, I know we hate the Montagues and
I
stuff.
am right there with you, bud.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We don't want them here, but we also don't want to pay their medical bills.
Because that's not how we work.
Yeah, you know, we all know old Montague's gonna make us pay for their funeral. It's gonna be a whole big ordeal. Like,
So right now,
yeah. So just I know you get a hard on for fighting, but keep it in your pants,
please. Also, we all get put to death if we fight. So
yeah.
let's not do that.
No fighting.
No fighting.
We're gonna like dub that in.
Do it.
From now on, it's the beginning of. I think the tips don't lie, right? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Romeo saw the girl leave the hall and followed. Yeah, because he's a stalker.
Yeah, creepy.
He's also not a minor. He's 18.
No, I thought he was 15.
No, I think he's 18. She's the only minor in the story.
Well, they wouldn't mention it. They would. I could have swore he was 15 though. I'm rusty on Shakespeare.
We can look it up later.
We'll Google it later.
We'll let you guys know the next time.
Next episode will be like, by the way, Romeo was in fact 15. Jaya was clearly right. Hayley was clearly wrong. But for now, just for comedy's sake, we're gonna make some bad jokes about Romeo being 18.
"I don't know who you are," he said, "but I've fallen in love with you. You're beautiful." And he kissed her.
Let's
okay. Slow down.
Yeah, it's like, okay, but in
regardless
reality,
of whether he's a minor or not, let's just
slow
down.
Like, if even as two adults, if someone went up to you, and just said, like, you know, saw you from across the room, you're so beautiful, I think I'm in love with you, and just kisses you right there, like, you could charge them for sexual assault.
Especially in this day and age.
Yeah, and regardless of like your gender, even like.
I get uncomfortable when someone tells me I want to kiss you.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone actually did it. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah.
Never talking to you again.
Yeah.
Juliet had left the hall to escape from Count Paris. She didn't like Paris at all. But when Romeo kissed her, she felt her heart fluttering. She fell in love with him at once. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Horny teenagers.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
It wasn't. You didn't fall in love with Romeo. You fell in love with human contact.
Juliet and Human Contact by William Shakespeare. "Who are you?" See, they are not even on a name-to-name basis yet. Yeah. They haven't even said what their names are.
Yeah.
That is not good. "Who are you?" Juliet murmured. "He's Romeo Montague," snapped Juliet's nurse, who had come to look for her. "And old Capulet would have a fit if he saw his daughter with a Montague. Come on." Old
Capulet would turn into Tybalt, like, real quick.
He would fight!
Yeah.
And then he'd have to put himself to death because, you know...
I mean, at least he put Romeo to death first. I mean, he just, like, randomly went up and kissed his daughter. Like, I would do that, too.
It's like those old country songs, "Got my shotgun."
Yeah.
"Stay away from my daughter."
Yeah.
Come on, she urged, taking Juliet away. "Count Paris wants to dance with you." Romeo groaned. "She's a Capulet? What am I gonna do?" Yeah, you didn't ask her name.
Yeah, maybe
start there.
Maybe if you had, like, maybe struck up a conversation with her, dropped a few of those hot Montague pickup lines, and then, like, you'd be like, "Oh, you're a Montague. Oh, you're a Capulet. Oh, shit, I mean, I'm sorry.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story."
We can back up.
Yeah.
When the party ended, hopefully I didn't skip a page. No.
They're just thick.
They're thick. When the party ended, Romeo sneaked outside and hid in the Capulets' garden, because that's not creepy at all. But soft! What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? All right.
Wherefore means why!
Yeah, so let's make a comment about that, because that definitely means, in this context, it is not why, it is where. So you're teaching children wrong.
Yeah, it's
because wherefore means why.
Yeah, she's in the actual text.
I almost said actual musical. I don't know why.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet the musical. I'd actually like to see that.
I would too. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio version.
Oh, okay. We don't talk about. No.
Yeah. This is the closest thing to a musical we're gonna get.
For Romeo.
Anyway.
The only movie version we're endorsing is
My Heart Will Go On, Titanic.
All right, fair enough. That is true. That is a
Every night in my dreams. Okay. But wherefore does mean why. She's saying, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? It's been like, why are you Romeo? And of all the dudes that could have, gotten horny for her, why did it have to be this one dude that my parents fucking hate? Like, that's exactly what's going on. She's just saying, why is it Romeo?
It's a very long monologue. This is only one small part of it.
Yeah.
And it's translated wrong. So.
Yeah, and it's like a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. It's like literally the next line. It's like, so if this guy had any other last name, it would be fine. But unfortunately,
I could marry him instead of fucking Paris.
But instead of doing the rest of the story where like Friar Lawrence tries his diddly darndest, but really doesn't cut it.
Doesn't cut it.
But anyway, continue.
As the moon rose, he saw Juliet step onto the balcony. Oh, Romeo, she sighed. Oh, no, it is translated right. We just didn't continue it.
Oh, shit.
It's you I love, if only you weren't a Montague. Sorry, folks. Actually, it was translated correctly.
I get very angry.
Please don't sue us for that piece. We actually did not realize you did it right.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on. Juliet, Romeo called to her, I'm here in the garden, and I love you. Yeah, because those two sentences are not really related. You do? Said Juliet. With all my heart, Romeo replied.
With all my dick.
With all my redacted.
Yeah.
I'd marry you if I could.
I'd redact it if I could.
Don't want the kiddies to hear married.
Yeah, oh.
Oof, no, too young.
What if they held hands before marriage? Scandalous.
Too much. But my parents are going to make me marry Paris, Juliet wailed. Yeah, that's why she can't marry you.
Not the fact that, she's a minor.
We're going to be saying that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing that we know about Juliet.
Yeah.
The only thing that Usborne wants us to know about Juliet, apparently.
She's a minor.
She's a minor. She's only 13.
Yeah, it's
guys, come on.
Yeah, it's just so no one in the book gets hard on for Juliet because she's a minor. Except for Romeo. Because that's what Shakespeare would have wanted.
Hopefully I am incorrect and he is 15 and not 18, and that would be not good. She frowned. Our only hope is to get married in secret, she said at last. Then we will, said Romeo. I'll ask my nurse to help us, Juliet decided. Send me a message tomorrow. I will, Romeo promised.
Yeah,
but
text
now,
me. Just text me.
Text me in the morning. Okay.
Be sure to attach a nude.
Send nudes.
Send nudes.
I will, Romeo. Romeo promised, but now I'd better go. Goodbye, Juliet. Parting is such sweet sorrow. I've always loved that line.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. Chapter 3, A Secret Wedding. Whew! We're going from Capulets and the Montagues falling in love to now everyone's it's a secret wedding. They're getting married.
Yep.
He's trying his diddly darndest. Ready? Well, good to hear how it works. The next morning, Romeo went to visit Friar Lawrence. The friar was a wise monk who made medicines and helped people with their problems. didn't have therapy back then.
Yeah,
so
he was that friend.
He was that friend.
Yeah,
he was the dude that
yeah.
Sat everybody down and was like, all right.
Okay. So let's talk about your trauma. Like, I feel like he would be the type
talk about your feelings.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be the type of person that like would be like, you just met a person. Like 30 seconds in the conversation, it's like, so what did they do to you?
It's like, oh no, it's not what they. It's what I want to do with them. That's the problem.
Like,
oh, don't know if I'm really qualified for that.
I feel like the whole Friar Lawrence thing is like, he's like, yeah, it's like, I got a buddy who's a monk. It's like saying, like, I got a buddy who happens to be ordained, he can marry us. That's exactly what's going on.
That's what he does. That's why Friar John is in there.
Yeah.
Just because he's his buddy, but he's his buddy who's ordained and can help him with the secret wedding. What can I do for you, Romeo? Again, tell me about your feelings.
Yeah.
Friar Lawrence asked. I'm in love with Juliet Capulet, Romeo explained. I know our parents won't like it, but we really want to get married.
We really want it redacted.
Redacted? Beep. Then I'll help you, the friar said kindly. When your parents find out you're married, it might help stop the fighting. If you both come to my house this afternoon, I'll marry you in secret. Romeo was delighted. He ran to the market square to find Juliet's nurse and give her the message. Except for Juliet's nurse was like, woo! You guys can't see the picture, but she's looking like she really doesn't want Romeo there at all, ever.
She's like, oof. I mean, I would too. Like,
she literally coming up, running or skipping. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, with that leg.
It's like, don't really want.
Yeah, and like also like you saw like just he go up and randomly kiss Juliet without them knowing.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she was the one that was like ripping Juliet away, like, dude, what the fuck? And then the same dude comes up and is like, hey, give this message to Juliet. Like,
hey, I gotta tell you something.
It's like, she intercepts the message, opens up to dude. It's like, oh, skillfully drawn penis.
The only thing Romeo can do.
Yeah, I mean that's
he's a rich boy who didn't actually go to school. Of course, the only thing he can do is draw.
Oh my god, yeah. And like, imagine if it's like that, and it's like he sends, and it's like, it was much bigger in the nude.
The nurse rushed off to tell Julia what Romeo said. He said, send nudes. She hated to see her beloved Juliet unhappy. Hi, you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. I know it means house, but like, why does he want it in a jail cell? Why do they call it a cell?
I mean, he's giving them an illegal marriage.
But it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I mean...
Spoilers!
Spoilers! Prince Escalade found out. He found out, and he was like, I know this is going to cause a lot of fighting, so I'm just going to arrest him before it can happen. And that's it. That's the play.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. That's the musical.
Close the book.
I almost said it too.
Julia couldn't stop smiling. I'll tell my parents I'm going to see the friar about my wedding to Count Paris, she decided. As the clock struck 2, Juliet arrived at Friar Lawrence's house. Romeo was waiting for her, and the friar performed, I can't read, guys, the secret wedding at once. So immediately...
Commence the ritual.
Sacrifice.
Commence the ritual, guys.
Now we're gonna bring down Crowley and Aziraphale.
Oh my god. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Aziraphale?
Aziraphale.
I see it all the time on the internet, and I'm like, I don't know.
Plug
I just
in to
avoid
watch
it. I'm like,
Omens now because we're talking about
Crowley and the other guy.
Crowley and that other dude.
David Tennant and his buddy. I don't know the actor either, so I'm like, David Tennant
and his other buddy.
His buddy.
David Tennant has many buddies.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he was the doctor.
Yes, he was.
Oh.
Romeo and Juliet were married. But Julia's parents were expecting her back, and she had to go straight home. So they couldn't move in together just yet.
Yeah. She had to go straight home after she got straight married.
There's a lot of uses of the word straight in this.
It's Romeo and Juliet, so.
But Benvolio and
I know,
Montague
but
are here too.
It's not. It's called. Okay, the book is not called Benvolio and Mercutio. It's called Romeo and Juliet.
Let me pretend.
No, yeah. We should do that.
Gonna write one. Yeah.
But it's very representational of heteronormativity. The gays are cast aside as usual.
As usual.
It's like
there is an actual book that's like that for Shakespeare. It's Rosencrantz.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern?
Yeah,
that's from Hamlet.
Yeah, but it's like it's that it's like it would
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a book related.
Yeah.
Which is what we need to do for Mercutio and Benvolio.
Yes.
So Romeo went to look for Benvolio and Mercutio. That was on the next page. Beautiful. He found them in the market square, arguing with Tybalt Capulet. There's no surprise there. What's the problem? Romeo asked. You exist, apparently.
The next line is...
You Montagues are the problem. You exist! That's the problem. Snarled Tybalt, turning to Romeo. It snuck. I don't know why Usborne said sneaked. You sneaked into my party. Because I'm pretty sure it's you snuck in.
Yeah, I don't think sneaked is a word.
Sneaked is a word. You sneak or you snuck. You don't sneaked. A little literature lesson from people who aren't actually literature.
Yeah, maybe, honestly, we don't know if Romeo is 15 or 18. Maybe sneaked is a word. We're not going to Google anything while we're recording.
Nope,
but
we'll do it after.
Yeah. Or should we Google it?
I'd like to know if sneaked is a word at least.
Okay. Hayley, keep reading.
No, not right now. We'll do it after.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, you just keep reading and I'll Google it so it doesn't, there's no awkward
silence. Okay, yeah. You can do that. You sneaked into our party. It just doesn't sound right. I'm not going to make you pay. I challenge you to a duel. Wait, I should say that, but I'm gonna try. I challenge you to a duel. We said we were nerds.
Yeah.
So, there you go. That's my Yu-Gi-Oh plugin. You're afraid to fight. I refuse, Romeo replied. You know the prince said no fighting. You're afraid to fight.
Coward!
Only cowards. Don't take up my gauntlet. Don't speak to my friend like that, said Mercutio. Oh, so you want to fight instead, do you? Tybalt shouted, drawing his sword. Mercutio drew his too, and they started fighting. God damn it, Tybalt.
Tybalt will fight anything that
Tybalt!
He sees a leaf blowing in the wind. And he's
fight!
Yeah! Slices it with his sword, I'll show you to move.
Stop it! Yelled Benvolio. He and Romeo frantically tried to pull the pair apart. They were too late. Tybalt stabbed Mercutio, who slumped to the ground, dead. Bury your gaze, I guess.
Then he died.
I want to put in that in the movie versions, I think of both the movie versions, he dies in Benvolio's arms. So
that's gay.
That is gay, and it's sad. So I'm glad they took this out of that version. Took that out of this version because I would cry if I saw that.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't get any other reading done. Yeah,
but wait, I have the answer.
Okay.
So apparently, until the 19th century, sneaked was a word. Apparently, sneaked was the past tense of sneak, and then in the 19th century, Snuck started appearing, and then everyone just kind of accepted it.
Snuck in.
Yeah, snuck into the English language, and now it's the more common version. So yeah, sneaked is a word.
All right, well, Hayley's wrong. That's good to know. Hayley's not correct.
Okay, now let's see if you're not correct again. I'm gonna Google Romeo's age.
Whew. All right, here we go. Romeo was so upset, he grabbed Mercutio's sword. Without thinking, he ran at Tybalt and stabbed him too. Yeah, honestly, you know what? I would do that too because, Mercutio's dead. So Tybalt deserves to die.
Fucking homophobe.
Bury your gays. It's true. Mercutio did draw first.
Yeah, I'm looking on a website.
Actually, no. Tybalt.
Well, Mercutio, Tybalt, and Paris are also 13.
We just have a bunch of 13-year-olds fighting each other in this book.
I almost threw hands with a 13-year-old.
I am a 13-year-old. So what else does it say?
I'm looking. It's I think.
Trying to imagine 13. Romeo can be older. All right. So he just makes friends with a bunch of 13-year-olds.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna look at multiple sources because
that's a good idea. So they can't grasp the true depth of their feelings. Yeah, because they're fucking teenagers. They're not old enough to grasp the complete truth. He's apparently all right.
He's younger than 18 because at 18
a young man of his standing.
He's
like 16.
He's like 16. Yeah, so
I'm not totally incorrect. He's
he
15.
doesn't. Yeah, apparently he has. Every thing I've looked at says he doesn't have a set age, but he's too impulsive to be 18. That's literally what they're saying.
All right, that's fair.
So,
not that I know very many that are 18-year-olds that are not impulsive.
Yeah,
there are plenty of 18-year-olds that are, but
yeah. I mean,
but yes,
I have a sister.
Yeah.
Who's 18, and she's more impulsive than me.
There you go. So. But
I'm also 21, so.
But I think we'll just say Romeo's 16 for.
Yeah.
Because then that way.
So he's also a minor.
He is also a minor. You are correct.
Pretty much everyone.
Everyone in this book is a minor except for
the friars
the old men.
and except for the old dudes.
The parents.
You're either old or you're a minor.
You're old or you're like 13. So there you go. Now that we know that. Benvolio stared in horror as Tybalt sank to the ground. Romeo, what have you done? He gasped. Quick, go before...
killed my cousin-in-law. Shit.
Quick, go before the prince comes. Romeo dropped his sword and ran for his life.
I just fucking threw hands with a 13-year-old and now he's dead. And now and I threw hands at a 13-year-old and now there's blood on him.
No. Oh, no. When Prince Escalus arrived, and apparently it had already escalated a lot.
Yeah.
Benvolio told him about the fight. The prince was angry.
I would imagine so.
But he could see that Tybalt was mostly to blame.
Yeah, because he fights everything.
But it's alright, because Tybalt was already dead.
Yeah, so he can't fight anything anymore.
Romeo shall not die, he said. I'll banish him instead.
Banished!
We're going to have a, not as traumatic, but a Zuko arc.
Yeah. I'll banish him, and he can only come back if he finds the Avatar.
Being banished meant Romeo would have to leave Verona and never come back. It was pretty better than being put to death, but not much.
Yeah. It still sucks, but I mean, at least I'm not dead.
Yeah. Gossip spread fast in Verona, and the nurse soon heard what had happened. With tears in her eyes, she went to tell Juliet. All right, so she went from fucking, you should be away, get away from him, to crying because he got banished.
No, because she
doesn't want to see Juliet unhappy.
Yeah, so she's like...
Well, but, okay, so then the entire resolution here is Juliet runs away too.
Yeah.
Because then she doesn't have to marry Paris. She can marry Romeo. She's already married to Romeo.
Yeah, they can just live somewhere other than Verona. It's not that big a deal. I'm sure, like, in like Shakespeare level, Shakespeare times.
Build yourself a house.
Yeah, build yourself a house
out of wood. And
and I'm sure rent was not that bad in Italy at that time.
If you built your own house, you paid your own rent. So
I am my own landlord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Juliet was heartbroken. Cousin Tybalt is dead, she sobbed, and I'll never see Romeo again. Don't cry, begged the nurse. I'll bring Romeo to see you before he leaves. He's hiding at the friar's house. Yes, please find him, Juliet.
Yes, please.
Please. Yes, please. Juliet said, wiping her eyes. Ask him to come and say goodbye. The nurse went straight to the friar's house. Again, use of straight.
Yeah.
It's okay. The only real gay character is dead, so we're fine.
Yeah. They're gay. It's not all straight here.
Romeo looked as if he'd been crying too. Romeo, you should be grateful, said Friar.
Yeah.
I just killed somebody. I'm banished from my town, but goddammit, you should be grateful you're not dead.
I mean, he has a point.
He does.
But wait for defense. Like, what kind of therapist are you, Friar Lawrence? It's like,
you should be grateful, Friar Lawrence said. The prince spared your life. But I'm banished, Romeo said. But Dad, I want to think of some American murders. I want to be with Juliet. Go and see her tonight, said the friar.
Yeah, just go.
Just go.
Yeah. I mean, it's
but make sure you leave Verona by dawn. Head for the city of Mantua. After a while, I'll talk to the prince. I'll ask him to forgive you and let you come home.
Mm-hmm. That's also such a rich white thing.
Like, I'll pull some strings.
Yeah, I'll pull some strings. I'll bribe the judges, and you'll be good.
It'll be good.
You'll be good.
Forgiven.
Yeah.
Forgiven for murder. It's fine.
It happens.
Murder happens. Murder. What's a little murder between friends? The nurse smiled at Romeo, and I'll tell Juliet you're on your way. That night, Romeo went to Capulet's garden and climbed the ivy to Juliet's balcony. But before dawn, he had to leave. It's not day yet, Juliet pleaded. It was the nightingale you heard, and not the lark. Romeo sighed. I must go, he said. If I stay here, I'll die. I mean, yeah.
It's true.
It's true. Giving his new wife one last kiss, he climbed down the balcony and sped from the garden and set off for Mantua.
One last kiss is one way to describe it.
We don't really know what they,
Yeah, they're teenagers.
One last kiss after a night of activity.
Yeah.
All that morning, Julia cried and cried. Her nurse tried to comfort her, but she couldn't stop. Suddenly, her mother and father swept in. Why, how now, Juliet? Poor Juliet, said her mother, going over to her. You're still upset about Tybalt.
Even he had it coming. Like, if you fight everything that moves, one of these days that thing is gonna move back and kill you. It just happened to be Romeo.
This will cheer you up. You're to marry Count Paris. The wedding's on Thursday. All right, wait. I know Paris hates. Well, actually, Paris doesn't hate Romeo's guts. I propose a threesome.
Yeah, of course.
A poly relationship.
Yeah, poly. Yeah.
Because that's all I think
That's
about these days, apparently.
Yeah, it solves everything.
It does.
Just love each
Bella
other.
and Edward and Jacob? No, they're a poly relationship. There's no fighting. No need to fight.
No.
Thursday? Julia gasped, it was so soon. But I don't want to marry Count Paris. Please don't make me. Her father scowled. I won't marry him, Juliet shouted. No! This really does sound like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, well, I was saying, I looked at the book like in passing a, like, it's like her father scowled, I won't marry him. It's like, fine, if you're not, old Capulet be like, fine, if you're not gonna marry Paris, I'll marry Paris. And then we'll still have that poly relationship.
Keep him in the family.
Yeah, we'll still have that poly relationship, but it'll be between Juliet's parents and.
But wait, isn't Paris 13 as well?
I mean,
isn't everyone except like the old Capulets and the friars like a teenager?
Yeah. But I was always told that like Paris was like way older. I think that's just to make him look bad.
I think probably she's a minor. He's like 2 years older, but he's way older. Whew.
No, I was told he was like an adult because
that's what I was told too.
Yeah, because that's what
but
happened.
But I thought that the thing said.
Yeah, they said like I think Juliet's the only one that has a confirmed age, but it's implied.
Because it's the only thing we know about her.
Yeah,
it's the only important thing apparently.
Yeah. It's not like she has a personality or anything. I mean, she is a female character in a male-written piece, so...
The only important thing is she's 13.
Yeah, that she's young and she's hot.
What do you mean, no? And her father, angrily. You'll marry Count Paris on Thursday, and that's that. And her parents left.
Yep. That's also very much a rich white parent thing to do. Like, you know, it's like...
You're gonna do this thing, and that's that, and we're leaving.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm already married, wept Juliet. What am I going to do? Well, you can't tell your parents about Romeo, said
that's a big mood.
You gotta keep that inside.
You gotta keep all your feelings right here, and then one day you'll die. And it will be very soon, apparently. Spoilers.
Spoilers! I mean, this book's been out for thousands of years. So hundreds of years.
Yeah, not thousands.
Very old. The nurse bustled away. And she just says, you gotta keep your feelings inside, and just darts.
She's like the opposite. She's like the anti-Friar Lawrence. Well, actually, Friar Lawrence is a little bit like that too. He's like,
you're grateful that you're alive.
Yeah, all these they're literally support characters, literally and like figuratively. Like, that's their whole character, and they aren't being supportive.
They're blunt about it, man.
Yeah, they're like, it's like, you gotta keep your feelings inside. And that's probably
one day you'll die.
And one day you'll die. And if that
books out in the room.
Yeah, keep all your feelings inside, and then one day you'll die. It leaves, and she's like, oh, if I have to keep my feelings inside for this long, I guess I'll die pretty soon. Like I can't keep this in.
I'm 13. I can't do that.
Yeah.
The nurse bustled away, and Juliet realized only one person could help her. I must go and see Friar Lawrence, she thought. Chapter 5, The Magic Potion.
That's one way to phrase it.
Polyjuice Potion.
Oh my god.
Friar Lawrence was planting herbs in his garden. Dank weed. Totally. Friar Lawrence would be. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, back then he's definitely got some cannabis in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I mean, I doubt it was illegal back then.
No, I don't think it was. There was no real law. The only law was no fighting.
Yeah. It was like,
if the only way to manage that is to give him some weed, then do it.
Yeah, it was like, no, it wasn't. Weed wasn't illegal. Weed was a preventive measure.
When Juliet arrived, "Oh, Friar, please help me," she begged. "My father says I have to marry Count Paris on Thursday." "But you can't," said the friar.
But you don't do that.
Softly, don't. You have to help. Juliet was desperate. "I'd rather die than marry Paris."
Well, that gives me an idea.
That can be arranged. "Is there anything you can do?" The friar thought for a while. "Let me just figure out which drugs I gotta supply to you."
Yeah.
Well, like he said, he's giving drugs to a minor. Technically, that should be illegal. He said finally, "There's one thing that might work. I'll give you a magic herbal potion."
That's one way to describe it.
"When you drink it, you'll go into a coma."
When you drink it, you'll have a great time.
"Your body will be cold and it will look as if you're dead, but really you're just in very deep sleep. It'll last for 2 days.
Shit.
Damn, can I have that?
This is my doctor at me after saying, like, yeah, I haven't slept in, like, a few weeks. And then
the therapist just goes, all right, here.
Yeah. Here, have this magical herbal potion that'll knock you the fuck out for 2 days.
You're gonna look like you're dead. You'll be in a coma.
Yeah. It's like, honestly, a medically induced coma is the only thing that can make me sleep at this point.
Honestly.
That's what I feel.
Drink the mad potion tonight. In the morning, your parents will find you and think you're dead. They'll put your body in the Capulet family tomb while they arrange your funeral. Cool.
Lit.
Lit. This is SimpLITfy.
Yeah.
So, then what? Asked Juliet. I'll be in a coma, so you're gonna have to let me know.
Yeah.
I'll send a messenger to Mantua to tell Romeo the plan. The friar went on. 2 nights from now, you'll wake up. Romeo can come to Verona to rescue you, and you can run away together. I'll do it, Juliet. Bravely, she held the bottle in a trembling hand. Thank you, Friar Lawrence. Clutching the potion tightly, she turned and ran home. Back at the Capulet's mansion, Juliet went to talk to her parents. I'm sorry I was so rude to you, she said sweetly.
Such a rich white person
I was upset about Tybalt. Of course I'll marry Count Paris on Thursday. Good girl, said her mother. I am glad. Apparently her father didn't say anything, but it says I'm glad.
Yeah.
That night, Juliet sat on her bed. Carefully, she uncorked the bottle Friar Lawrence had given her and drank every last drop of the bitter potion.
Drank.
A few moments later, she fell into a deep, deep sleep.
Yeah, so deep she was almost fucking dead.
Chapter 6. Romeo returns.
It sounds like it's like an action movie sequel. It's like Romeo and Juliet 2, Romeo returns.
Prince used to fuck shit up.
Yeah. He's a zombie now.
He's a zombie. It was just as the friar had promised. The next morning, Juliet's nurse found her cold body lying on the bed and screamed, She's dead! Juliet's dead! There'll be no wedding for my daughter, said old Capulet, trying to hold back his tears. Instead, we must prepare a funeral. Carry her body.
I mean, either way, on the stage, it would be set up the same way, because apparently you only use perfect symmetry in blocking for weddings and funerals.
Oh, interesting.
So, either way.
So either way,
maybe that's why Shakespeare wrote it that way.
Maybe. He knew.
I don't think Shakespeare would actually care.
Probably not, but
I don't think he would care. But anyway, continue.
Carry your body to the family tomb. Her body to the family tomb.
Yeah, carry your. I mean, you might want to take your body there as well. I don't think your astral projected version of yourself would be able to carry the body. So
that body so well. So
take your body and this dead body to the family tomb.
Meanwhile, Friar Lawrence wrote a letter to Romeo explaining everything. He sealed up the letter and gave it to his friend Friar John. So the only thing that Friar John does is mess everything up because he delivers a letter to Romeo and Romeo reads it. And he sealed up the letter and gave it to his friend Friar John to deliver. So this letter must reach Romeo tomorrow. Yeah, so they have a day for him to get there. Hurry to Mantua. But the news spread fast. Soon people for miles around had heard about Juliet's death. In Mantua, a servant told Romeo that Capulet's daughter had died. I'll go back to Verona and find Juliet in the tomb, Romeo sobbed. Then I'll lie beside her and drink poison so I die too. That way we can be together. Romeo has dumb bitch disease.
Romeo's a ride or die bitch. Like, literally.
I'm glad that we've clarified that, because that is important. I think he's ride and die.
Yeah. Fucking Friar John fucking messed up. It's all his fault.
He didn't even get there. Romeo went to find an apothecary. I need the strongest poison you have, he said.
I need something that'll fuck me up, dude. What you got? He's like, oh, buddy, I got this thing. It'll literally kill you. He's like, perfect.
You can't buy poison in Mantua. It's against the law.
Oh shit, they actually...
Mantua is more civilized.
Yeah. Mantua was ahead of its time.
It was. The man told him, but Romeo saw he was poor and offered him 40 gold coins.
Oh my god! See, we keep making all these parallels to modern, like, rich white people. That is the most
rich white person thing I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that may be illegal, but you're poor and I'm rich, and I can. The laws don't apply to rich people, so here's some
The
money.
apothecary quickly handed over a tiny bottle.
Here, just a little bit.
It's illegal, but
shh, no one has to know.
Romeo put the poison in his bag and headed for Verona as fast as his horse could.
He put it in his man purse.
He has a messenger bag.
It's a satchel.
By the time Friar John arrived in Mantua, Romeo had already left. So the friar set off back to Verona without delivering the letter. Late that night, Romeo arrived in Verona. He crept to the Capulet's house, found the entrance to the tomb, but someone else was already there. Count Paris. What are you doing here, Montague? Paris demanded. Juliet is dead because of you. You killed her cousin Tybalt, and she died of grief. Oh my god. Tybalt still out here haunting everybody. Go away.
Tybalt, even in death, he starts fights. It's what he would have wanted.
That's not true, Romeo cried. I loved her more than you did. You're trespassing.
I mean, he is.
He snapped the Count, drawing his dagger. Get out. He lunged at Romeo. Romeo drew his dagger too and fought back. So he stabs two people.
I mean, in self-defense.
Both of them are defense. So technically Romeo shouldn't die for his crimes because...
I mean, right now he should die for his crimes because he was banished for, killing the first one. And now he's back and he's just like... Romeo returns. He's back and better than ever. The first thing he does when he comes... The first thing he does when he gets back in Verona after being banished for stabbing a bitch is stabbing another bitch.
You know what? It's valid.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
That's what Tybalt wanted.
Count Paris gasped and fell to his knees. Oh, I am slain.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Romeo stepped over the body and went to find Juliet. She was lying inside, as cold as the stone beneath her, but beautiful as ever. Romeo took her.
Man, she's even hot when she's dead. That goes into a whole new realm.
That is necromancy.
No. Necromancy would solve their problems. Necrophilia is the problem they have.
You're right. Also, technically, it isn't either because she's technically not dead. She's asleep.
But if the thought is there,
counts.
It's the thought that counts because he thinks she's dead and he's like, oh, she's still hot.
Romeo took her hand and wept as he kissed her cheek. Ah, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Why are you hot?
Why are you so hot? Why are you so hot? You're so cold. You're hot even when you're cold, wink.
Back at Friar Lawrence's house, Friar John had returned. I went to Mantua, but I couldn't deliver the message, he announced. Romeo wasn't there.
You had one job! In the entire play, your one job. You were just kind of there.
He destroyed everything.
Maybe that's why...
That's why they didn't have a personality for him, because...
Yeah. And because you don't want to sympathize with him.
He's
because
the bringer of evil.
He has dumb bitch disease.
He's the one with dumb bitch disease.
I mean, they all have dumb bitch disease, let's be real.
Yeah.
But only for a few... It was only terminal for a few of them.
Friar Lawrence felt sick. But Juliet will wake up alone in the tomb. He said, I must rescue her. And he rushed from his house, heading for the Capulet tomb. Yeah, she won't exactly wake up alone. I guess she kind of will, but it won't for the same reasons Friar Lawrence thinks. In the tomb, Romeo took out his bottle of poison. He drank it all. He drank it all, lay down beside Juliet, and kissed her one last time. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Yeah, that's why they're illegal.
Yeah.
Thus with a kiss I die. Not long after that, Juliet awoke.
How convenient.
Awkward. She rubbed her eyes and sat up. Where am I? She wondered. Then
In the tomb. Like, we've been over this.
She's been out a couple days. Forgive her.
No.
Little lapse. No. Then she remembered the magic potion and Friar Lawrence's plan. Romeo, she called. Oh no, she cried as she saw his still body. She noticed the poison bottle in his hand and shook his shoulders. He didn't stir. Oh,
Imagine if just he did and he woke up. It's like, what the fuck?
Juliet realized what he'd done. Oh, Romeo, she sobbed. I can't live without you. I'll kiss your lips and poison myself, too. Just then she heard a noise. Someone was coming. Yay, noise, then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. All right, so she decided she wanted to poison herself. I remember in one of the movies that she went to kiss him, but there wasn't enough poison.
Yeah,
on his lips. So
yeah, it gave him the small bottle. If it had been a little less illegal, or maybe Romeo had forked over a little more money, he could have got a bigger bottle, and everything would have been fine.
That's the moral of this story.
Yeah, the drugs should be legal.
Drugs should be legal.
Or if you're gonna buy illegal drugs off of a poor person, fork over a little more money.
And then you'll get
that apothecary definitely needs it way more than you do.
It's true. Juliet grabbed Romeo's dagger. Before anyone could arrive to stop her, she plunged it into her heart.
Oh,
and
shit.
Collapsed on top of Romeo. Friar Lawrence burst into the tomb, followed by soldiers and servants. They were too late. Romeo and Juliet were dead. Yeah, because everyone else had dumb bitch disease and killed these teenagers.
Yeah. What's funny is...
It's funny!
No, it's not what I meant, but also I realized what I was going to say was also not funny. Because when you think about it, that dagger literally had just killed Count Paris. Oof. So it's like... So while the blood of my ex-fiancé is still on this fucking dagger, I'm gonna put in my heart.
So I guess she really did put Paris in her heart at the end.
It's the only way.
It's the only way she could do it. She said I'd rather die than marry him, so I guess she literally had to stick it.
You have welcomed the blood of Count Paris into your heart. You will now be able to use its powers in the Persona dungeons, totally.
The friar summoned the Capulets, the Montagues, and Prince Escalus, and told them the whole sad story.
I mean, I think
which we will not recount here, because we already read it.
Yeah.
The prince turned to the two families, as he should.
Yeah, it's like, no, he's gonna turn his back on them and be like, see, this is what you get for fighting in my city! See what your hatred has done? Yeah. He said, Romeo and Juliet have paid the price for your feud. Old Capulet and old Montague agreed to bury Romeo and Juliet side by side, wiping away their tears. They promised that their families would never fight. And then they found Count Paris. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, they probably, it's one of those things, if they all
died in front of the tomb.
Yeah, if they all rushed into the tomb, maybe that's why they were too late. Maybe they're looking like, oh shit, it's a dead body. And they pondered it for a second and came in and it's like, oh shit, more dead bodies.
Oh shit, the more important dead bodies.
Oh, these dead bodies are main characters.
This is when main characteritis wasn't a thing. Because, obviously, if main characteritis was a thing back then, we would not have this sad, tragic tale.
I mean, no, they have main characteritis. It's just Shakespeare main characteritis, not Marvel. Not Marvel main characteritis. It's like the opposite. Marvel main characteritis, they cannot permanently die. It just won't happen. Where with Shakespeare main characteritis, they're gonna die. If they are main characters. That's just how it works.
It is.
All right. Everyone dies. The end.
That's it. Everyone dies. The end. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
I mean, I can think of a lot of sadder stories. Actually, I can draw more sad stories from my own life than Romeo and Juliet.
I have a list on Goodreads of sad stories. I should make a list on Goodreads of sad stories that are sadder than Romeo and Juliet.
I've written fan fiction that's sadder than Romeo and Juliet.
Fair.
You know I have.
I know, I've read it.
Hayley is one of the few people IRL that will allow to read my fan fiction.
And they're very angsty and sad.
Yeah.
They're sadder than Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah. You know.
Romeo and Juliet, actually, when you consider it, is supposed to be sad.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. But it's really not. Everyone's fucking stupid. So.
Yeah, it's a tragedy that really didn't age well.
No.
It literally aged like milk. Meanwhile, my story.
Self-plug.
My fan fiction where, Peter dies
Romeo
before
and
Harry
Juliet.
can find out that he's Spider-Man, and then he finds out that he's Spider-Man, and then it's all sad and shit. Like, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and then,
All right.
Yeah, so yeah,
what's our next?
So we're gonna update bi-weekly, so every other week, assuming there are no bumps in the road, and there are always going to be bumps in the road, so just kind of prepare for that. But our next story is one of my personal favorites, Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Woo! It's edgy.
We should just read The Lion King.
We're gonna do the original content for The Lion King, so it's like, it's like we're gonna read the canon of this of this story, that the wonderful fan fiction of The Lion King was made.
It is a fan fiction.
Yeah, it's literally.
What if Hamlet was animals?
Yeah, it's literally the furry Hamlet. So we're gonna read the non-furry version of The Lion King.
Human Hamlet.
Yeah, so the non-anthropomorphic Lion King. Anyway, for our kind of information, where you can find our other works, that will be in kind of the description of our channel here on wherever we upload this, probably Spotify
or YouTube.
Yeah, or a SoundCloud or something.
SoundCloud's
probably
put that app back on my phone so that I can listen to this anytime.
Yeah, but we're wherever this is, we will link all of our social information so you can find us.
Sakiao. I'm tired.
Okay, yeah, we're all very tired, so we're gonna go now. Join us in a couple weeks for Hamlet. This has been SimpLITfy, and have a good day, everyone, I guess, or night, or whenever
you are listening to this.
Yeah, whatever time of day it is. Enjoy the respite.
Yep.
All right. See you later.